Hello, and welcome to the beginning of my 48-hour readathon. I'm coming in a few hours early to do my introduction so that on the off chance that once it becomes 12 I'm unable to do the intro, I don't need to do one and I can just head straight into reading. So I have 3 graphic novels, hopefully 2 mangas, and then 2 full-fledged novels, but YA novels that I'd like to read for this readathon. One of them I'm starting early because I finished my book early. I couldn't help it. I ended up finally getting to my arc of The Quiet Tenant and I just couldn't put it down. I had to finish it, so I don't have anything to read for today before the actual start of the readathon, which is why I will have like half of a book-ish that I will have started. I think I'm going to be taking with me We Don't Swim Here by Vincent Tirado. This is a YA, I think, horror that I saw Jessie on YouTube recommended. I've also got Fat Chance Charlie Vega by Crystal Maldonado. Those are the 2 novels. For the 3 graphic novels I've got are Hollow, that I saw my friend Setha really enjoyed, by Shannon Waters, Branden Boyer-White, and Berenice Nelle. While I was browsing at the library, I also found Umma's Table by Yeon-Sik. She's a chunky one, but again, it's a graphic novel. Again, browsing, I found My Only Child by Wang Ning. Since having moved, I haven't gotten back to it, so I would like to also get to Slam Dunk number 23, and it ends at 24, so if I can get to that, that would be great also. I'm sad to be finishing it, but also glad to be like catching up as well. This is my reread. I'm doing this 48-hour readathon because I am 7 books behind on my Goodreads goal. I've read 108 books so far, but obviously I don't want to be behind, so hopefully doing this 48-hour readathon will get me closer, if not all caught up, because I don't actually have 8 books with me. It's more like 6. Oh wait, I forgot I have an audiobook because I want to do some errand running. When I can't be following along with my eyeballs, I can be following along with my eardrums. I've got Kismat Connection by Ananya Devarajan. So I will be starting, as I said, with We Don't Swim Here, technically pre-readathon, but you get the gist. I went shopping today and I decided to delay the beginning of this readathon because I did not get home by midnight, so I did not have time to read. So I started it at 2 p.m. and it will go on for 2 p.m. 48 hours later. So I listened to the entirety of my audiobook. Actually, I listened to Kismat Connection, which is a YA romance, also a debut novel. It's told in dual perspective of Maduri and her like childhood best friend Arjun. Maduri is good at everything. She excels in everything. She wins all the awards. She is trying to prove her astrological chart different for her birthday. Her mother's like obsessed with the astrology charts and loves to tell them. She's being told that her upcoming senior year of high school is going to be a total failure, and she wants to conduct an experiment because she wants to be a scientist to prove it wrong in fake dating with her childhood friend. But Arjun actually like really likes her. I listened to this while shopping. I'll do a haul, and I had like 0 thoughts going through my head. It didn't help that I was like talking to people. I was being helped and all of these things, and I was distracted by what I was buying, but I'm not rating it, obviously. I'm still going to count it. I think I might want to pick up a new audiobook. I'm not really sure what it's gonna be yet. But I picked up a skirt at Reformation. I've been eyeing it for about a month or 2 now, and I really liked the system at Reformation where you go into the dressing room and it's like a wardrobe and you have stuff in your closet, and then you can use an iPad to pick out what you want to try on and they will bring that to you. You don't have to talk to anybody. It kind of just appears into the closet and it's really cool. I found the skirt. I wanted to try it on because I'm not quite sure of my sizing there. They had my size and the length fits perfectly. It works because I'm really short. I took 2 skirts from like the floor to try on. Those were way too long, but the one that I wanted fit. It was so amazing. And then I realized that I needed to go to Sephora. I originally went because I needed to restock on my favorite moisturizer from Innisfree. Innisfree, the Dewy Glow Jelly Cream with Jeju Cherry Blossom. This is my third or fourth bottle, and I really love it for my daytime moisturizer. I got caught up into talking to someone because they were like, do you need any help? And I wanted to try retinol. I'm trying the Shani Darden one. I've never heard of this brand before, but they did recommend it, and I got the travel size one because she ain't cheap. And then I also got something, an eye cream. Eye cream I've never tried either. I've never heard of this brand either. Oh, it's called In Beauty, but this is also cruelty and free and vegan, so I really liked that. I also walked around for like 10 minutes debating if I wanted 2 lip products, and I went away with one. I have the Dior one. This is the Dior Addict Lip Moisturizer. I just put it on like after dinner in the color Lavender Holographic, and I like it because it's sparkly. It kind of adds something to like the Summer Fridays lip balm that I have without actually having like a super strong tint. And I was thinking about it because I have another Dior lip product, the Dior Addict Lip Glow Oil in Berry, but the formula of the new one that I got, the Lip Maximizer, is so much smoother. I like this because also I think it's supposed to be a little bit lip plumping, so there's a little bit of a tingly sensation. This I feel like just like sticks to your mouth when you open it, so it's not my favorite. I clearly have not used it a bunch. I was using the Too Faced one, and the packaging is so cute, and I really liked that one. Packaging is so cute, but it would like pop off in between like the heart part, and it would leak, right? Or safe, like none of my stuff was. Did some damage at Sephora and also Reformation, but I'm glad because I was able to finish a book. I am also still reading my physical book. I'm reading We Don't Swim Here. It is about a haunted town. Bronwyn moves to her dad's hometown again for the year because her grandmother is not doing very well, and her dad is bringing the family back there to get her affairs in order. Her cousin still lives in this town, and she was like on track to be a competitive Olympic swimmer or something along those lines. She arrives in this town to find that the school does not have a swim team, and she won't be able to practice for a year, so she's trying to figure out where she can do that, a lake or a pool. But it seems that this small little town, nobody swims. She's told constantly, we don't swim here, we don't swim here, we don't swim here. It's very cryptic, a little bit culty vibes also, and I think it's supposed to be like the take on why Black people don't know how to swim, and kind of like the sus vibes or like the history of why. It's also written by a non-binary Afro-Latin Bronx native. I read like a decent chunk today. I would say I'm maybe 50% of the way through, and so far I'm liking it. I'm starting to learn a little bit more about why people don't swim in this town, why it's a little bit haunted. I'm trying to see like if Bronwyn can be saved, if sacrifices are going to be made or not. It's told in dual perspective with Bronwyn and her cousin who lives in this town, Ananya. Ananya is like trying to protect Bronwyn because she's family, but also trying to survive in this haunted town. And obviously Bronwyn is like, what the fuck is going on? I think I would also like to pick up a graphic novel that I have because I have 3 of those. I feel pretty good so far because now I think I should only be 7 books behind.
And stuffs it in his pocket. Tell Mom I'm in Trevor's.
Hello! It's now been a little over 24 hours since I began the readathon. I woke up so late because for whatever reason I could not sleep until almost 6 a.m. I should have taken a melatonin. So I did wake up after like 6 hours just so that I could get started on the day. I have started a new audiobook. 24 hours in though, I finished 2 books, the audiobook and the graphic novel, and having read a huge chunk of this book as well. I've read 608 pages so far. I feel pretty good because I finished a book. My new audiobook is also really short. It's YA and only 5 hours long. I'm already 25 5% of the way through. So my new one is called Cold by Mariko Tamaki, who I've read from before. And I saw it was compared to The Lovely Bones, which I've read a long time ago in like middle high school-ish. But it's not something I remember super well off the top of my head. I just remember that a young girl was murdered. She is in this ghost state, watching her family grieve. The police figure out like who killed her. So this one is told in dual perspectives. The audiobook has also 2 narrators, one of which is the boy Todd Mayer, who was murdered. The other perspective is from Georgia. She goes to an all-girls private school and he went to an all-boys private school. Her brother attends his school and is like his classmate or whatever. She doesn't really know Todd, but after hearing about his death, she can't stop thinking about it. She thinks maybe as like she's learning more about him, maybe it's because they're both queer or because they're both outcasts at their school, they don't have many friends, but maybe it's because she might have seen him before and she just forgot. It's still pretty new into the audiobook. There's nothing much I can say. I do need to go to the library to pick up some books and return some, and I would also like to finish We Don't Swim Here. I don't have very much of this left. I think it's like 100 pages, which isn't bad, and then maybe I think I will pick up one more of the graphic novels that I have, and I'm feeling still really pumped and excited. Yes, I'm drinking Ichigo while wearing their competitor shirt. It's fine. They still drink Mizu. Don't come for me.
Just dive straight in. No, not diving in.
When I eat totally by myself, I usually like eat my veggies and all like the appetizer stuff while I'm cooking. It's just easier that way to clean up and get everything out of the way. I've been waiting to be home alone so that I could eat this. I found this at Target. It's totally new to me, but it's Goodles. Here comes truffle flavor. I'm usually like on Sal. Oh, what is the one that I get called? I get the Annie's white cheddar one, or I get the classic Kraft mac and cheese. I saw this and I like truffle, but I think this is like one that's high on like protein. Taste wise so far, the truffle gives off more of like a mushroomy vibe more than like usually that I've had, but I still think it's really good. That's my very simple, exciting dinner today. I wanted to finally get to theater camp. I love Ben Platt and Molly Gordon, so I'm really excited that this is now on Hulu, and then I think I'll finally get to reading since, you know, I haven't since I finished listening to Cold. Might have another drink because why not?
There are musicals and then there are straight plays.
So then what would be a gay play?
I guess a musical.
I just finished watching a theater camp. I really liked it. I cried a little. I did go to theater camp, but I did go to a summer camp that like made a huge impact on my life, and to me that was like second home, and I found a place where I belonged there. It was hilarious. Gorgeous, really talented children in this. What the heck? I finished reading We Don't Swim Here a little bit ago, and I was taking a break with a YouTube video. Also, I took a half-hour nap. I'm very tired. I gave this 3 stars. I feel like it felt really flat for me, the ending-wise. It was really leading to somewhere. I wasn't sure if this was kind of like a possession story. Maybe there's a siren. It felt unclear. Left a lot of questions that I still have at the end. I think I still will pick up other books by this author because I found their writing to be really readable. Sometimes it was still really difficult to distinguish the difference between Bronwyn and Anais, and then I would have to like flip back to see who was talking. I think I'm going to now pick up a graphic novel. I have the My Only Child by Wang Ning. This is 4 stories. The author is Wang Ning, but the illustrator is going to be different for each story. It is about the one-child policy that they had in China. For over 35 years, China ran a strict one-child policy in an attempt to control its ever-burgeoning population. But what if you then lose that child? I like that even though it's a different author, I mean it's the same author, it's different art styles so that it feels like different authors, and it'll help to distinguish different stories as well. I've completed my 4th book also for this, and now I'm only 5 books behind schedule. I definitely won't catch up, but I think I still feel good about that number dwindling down. Readathon ends in half an hour, and I only got 6 hours of sleep again. I should have read, but I edited my video instead, and I also just lay in bed with my eyes closed for an hour, a literal hour, trying to sleep, and I couldn't. Why don't I learn? Drink a fucking melatonin. The readathon is now over, but I want to do my final check-in after I finished this book so that I have my final thoughts to share. Obviously, for page count purposes, I'll probably count what I read for the readathon. I ideally would have liked to finish this whole thing, and obviously that's not the case, but I still feel pretty good about what I've read so far, and I kind of like doing this. I definitely just had like a really messed up sleep schedule. Welcome to the wrap portion of this 48-hour readathon. I ended up reading 5 books, one of them being a full novel, even though I started it like 50 pages in for this reading vlog. First off was We Don't Swim Here by Vincent Tirado, which I ended up giving 3 stars just because the build-up for it did not translate in the ending, and because it was hard to distinguish the difference between the 2 characters unless I knew whose chapter I was going to be reading going into it. That's not to say that I didn't like this or this author's writing style. I definitely would like to try their other books. I also was listening to The Kismet Connection by Ananya Devarajan, which I did not rate because no thoughts are going through my head for that one. Seriously, no thoughts. But I read Hollow. I believe I gave this one 5 stars just because I found this to be so enjoyable. It's getting me more into the fall mood. I think this is a really cute one. I really like the friendships that came up in this, and I definitely really enjoyed the art style of this as well. The next day I started the audiobook of Cold by Mariko Tamaki. I think that this author's writing style just does not work for me. This is, I believe, the 3rd book that I've read by her. All of them have been no more than 3 stars. I just didn't really see the point of this quote-unquote mystery, or the point of Todd Mayer's point of view especially. It didn't seem like he was adding anything. He just kind of was allowing you to see into the minds of other people that weren't the other main character. I don't think I'll be reading from this author anymore. I also read My Only Child by Wang, Ning, and an Assorted Artist, the 4 different stories. Again, I really liked this, and I ended up giving it 4 stars. Seeing in how like different ways that having one child also is a little bit painful when you lose that child as a parent, and then you don't really have anyone to rely on to take care of you, but also you just lost a part of you. I did really enjoy this one as well. I actually spent a few days reading Umma's Table. I only read about 200 so pages of this for the readathon. I think I'm giving it like 3.5 stars or 3 stars. It was kind of along the lines of My Only Child, of like, you only have those 2 parents. The cycle of life tells you the parents are supposed to go first, but it's still really hard, especially when you have like a complicated relationship with them, and like realizing that your parents did everything to put you first, and having all of these regrets of not being able to give back to your parent in the way that they provided for you as a kid. I did take a little bit longer to read this just because it's chunky and I didn't want to bring it with me places on my commute. Having read Umma's Table as well, I'm now only 4 books behind schedule as opposed to being like 7 to 8, so I feel really good about that, especially with having read so many pages. So I hope you enjoyed following along. I definitely would like to challenge myself to do other readathons, and possibly a 24-hour one where this time I actually stay up, but I don't quite want to mess up my sleep routine, so I'll have to figure out a time to do that. But I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!